Get up, you son of a bitch.
Cause Punch Drunk loves ya.
Keep it light, keep it light, keep it light. Get it light, get it light, get it light, get the light beat going.
Yeah.
Get the light beat going. Get the light beat going. Get the light, get the light beat going. Get the light, yeah.
Smash that light, ladies and gentlemen, let's go.
I'll say it. Someone's putting moves up, shot. Yes, indeed. Let me tell you what I need. Don't need fame. No beef, no 50, no game. I am the light. I keep it with all my might. You know I'll do it. I don't even need no music. No doors, threats. No music. No music. No music. No music. Let's get ready to
You already know. This is Punch Drunk Boxing, a.k.a. Mr. Moonshine himself, a.k.a. El Adobo, a.k.a. El Sazón, a.k.a. El Borracho, a.k.a. Café Bustelo, a.k.a. El Pastor de Boxeo. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you at this side of heaven. God bless you all. God bless you all. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all already know it's 2026. Boxing is just getting started. There's going to be a lot of special things that's going to happen in the sport of boxing. I'm going to tell you like this. By the end of 2026, we're going to be talking about that this is one of the best year historically in the sport of boxing. Hopefully, it can match up 2023. I believe that 2023 was highly a historic year. We seen now will become a undisputed. We seen Terrence Crawford beating Earl the True Spence in the welterweight division, a fight that we all wanted to see. Beat Earl Spence from pillar to post to become a 2-division undisputed world champion. We seen Devin the Dream Haney beat Vasily Lomachenko. We seen Teofimo Lopez beat Josh Taylor. It was a good year, historic year. We seen Ryan Garcia versus Gervonta Tan Davis up to this date has been the best selling pay-per-view event. And ladies and gentlemen, rumor has it that Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson sold 1.2 pay-per-view buys. Rumor has it Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson did 1.2 million pay-per-view buys. Just rumors. Rumor. You can believe it or not. You can believe it or not. Randy in the building. Randy, one of the members. Con la bandera de República Dominicana. I'm on my Bad Bunny-ish today. La música de Randy. They have to learn Spanish today. Everybody, okay? Bye, Bunny in the Super Bowl, okay? You man, you don't like the Spanish? You don't like the Spanish? You don't like the Spanish? Over here, Punch Drunk Boxing, man. We got that Bad Bunny energy. Bad Bunny energy. Let's go. You don't like it? Bad Bunny. You don't like it? Bad Bunny. I speak English. I speak English. I speak English. I speak Spanish. I speak Spanish. I learn Spanish. Okay? Let's go. DJ Camelo Alex Sensation. Págame la música yankating. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, they mad at Bad Bunny? Huh? People bad about Bad Bunny. I don't want to see no damn Bad Bunny. You know what I'm saying? He only singing in Spanish. I don't understand Spanish. Why they can't have Chris Brown? I like a Chris Brown too. I like a Chris Brown. Hey yo. Brian in the building was good. Brian in the building. Hey yo. Now on my channel, what I've been talking about all these years. What I've been talking about all these years. What I've been talking about all these years, they be like, oh, yo, Punch, you be talking to Latinos and black. Hey, yo, there's a silent hate for us, bruh. The Bad Bunny Super Bowl halftime show exposed it. They don't like us. They don't like lo Latino. It it was apparent, bruh. They can speak Spanish, huh? Oh, I told y'all, that's what I'm saying. A lot of people come to my channel and criticize me. And when I created my channel, I never wanted to talk about this race stuff because I always say that we're brothers and sisters, sons and daughters of the Most High. But you saw it. Ladies and gentlemen, ain't nobody talking about the game. I haven't had one conversation about with nobody about Seahawks or New England Patriots. Everything is about Bad Bunny. Everything about Bad Bunny, Latino culture, speaking Spanish. They don't like us. They don't really like us. Because why is it controversial? Huh? Why is it controversial? Hey, yo, ladies and gentlemen, I know people that be hiring nannies, Spanish nannies, to take care of their kids, and they don't know a lick of English. They don't care. They don't care. My whole life, I've seen people hire Latina women to take care and babysit people's own kids, and they don't even know a lick of English, and they don't care. Huh? They don't care. Yo, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, they don't really like, oh, man, they speak Spanish. Hey, yo, ladies and gentlemen, back in the days when the Korean dude, what's his name? Psych, what's his name? Gamba Yamba style. Yamba Yamba style. Yamba Yamba style. You remember that hit? That was the number one. That was the number one hit in America for like 3 months. Y'all remember that song? The Korean hit. Yamba Yamba style. El gordito, the fat dude. Huh? Hey, yo, that dude performed in a halftime show in the football game with the Buffalo Bills. Ain't nobody never said anything about that. Because it's Spanish. Oh, because it's Spanish. They don't like it, the people. Huh? They don't like it, us. Huh? Oh, you just like Latino and Spanish when we mow in the lawn. Huh? Huh? When they give you chipotle. And patelito, piragua. That's the only time they like it, us. That's no good. That's not right. That's not fair. That's not right. That's not good. That's not fair. They only like Latino when we get pure cocaína, the cocaína. That's how you like it. What about the weed from Mexico? That's all you like it, the Spanish right there, huh? How about tequila? You like a tequila, the Spanish tequila, huh? You like Don Julio, Patron, or you like your Corona when you go to the beach. You like it, the Spanish, but you don't like a little 15 minutes of Bad Bunny. You don't like 15 minutes of Bad Bunny. That's bullshit, my friend. That's bullshit. That's bullshit, my friend. 15 minutes of Bad Bunny and everybody got a problem. 15 minutes. 15 minutes of Bad Bunny and everybody got a problem. 15 minutes of little Spanish and everybody got a problem in America. My goodness. When you go to the bodega and they play a little bachata, Romeo Santos and stuff like that, you don't have no problem. Hey, yo. It's crazy. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Yo, I remember the whole world was singing, a mí me canta la gasolina, la gasolina. And matter of fact, hey, yo, Bad Buddy, you should have brought out Daddy Yankee to sing gasolina. You should have. What about Selena? You don't like Selena? Chiri chiri bamba, chiri bamba. If Celia Cruz would have came out of a grave, shout out to Celia Cruz, they would have been, no, don't bring that Cuban lady out. My goodness, ladies and gentlemen, man, the world, America was exposed this past weekend. They don't like it, Latino. They don't like it, us. Well, they got to have somebody that speaks Spanish. Well, they got to have people that speak Spanish. My goodness. Dímelo, Caesar. Dímelo, Caesar. Smash the like button, everybody. Smash the like button. I said, damn, they really don't want. You know what it is? You know what I noticed? Now I notice. Ladies and gentlemen, say it like this. Latinos in this country, we're the third-class citizen. We're the lows of all lows. See, people are mad because Bad Bunny is in position. And they don't like that precision. They don't like it that he was in the Super Bowl halftime show. It was just the precision. No, you just good to babysit my kid. You just good to I'm gonna hire you to clean my apartment and clean my house. You're good for that. You don't even need to speak it. You don't even need to speak English. Just clean my house and iron my clothes. I want my clothes to smell like Downy, and I want my I want my house to smell like Mr. Lean. Yeah, that's what we go. That's it. Dash in the building. That's what we go for, huh? That's what it is. That's what it is, huh? I remember one of my favorite characters, right? Y'all remember the movie Shaft with Peoples Hernandez? Shout out, I like Peoples Hernandez. He made that movie, right? One of my favorite actors, huh? Right. One of my favorite actors. He played the Dominican guy really, really good. I put my finger like this, 181, 3 people that can riverside. One of my favorite movies, but you telling me that you couldn't find a Dominican actor? You telling me that you couldn't find a real Latino actor to do the shit, to do Peoples Hernandez? Even though he did a wonderful job. I mean, I love rights. You know what I'm saying? Hey, he did a great job, but I'm just saying. But you don't hear a bunch of Latino complaining, huh? They don't let us in the Grammys. They don't let us in the this, huh? I seen the hate, bro. I seen the hate because it's Spanish and that's un-American. You crazy? You know that Spanish was here in America before English? And matter of fact, English is un-American. Huh? Shout out to Emiliano Vargas. Shout out to Xander Zayas representing. Shout out all Latin America. Dímelo Christian in the building. All right, let's talk about boxing. Si te quieres divertir. Let's talk about boxing. Ladies and gentlemen, the new pound for pound list has come out. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to start off by saying this. I said before the fight with Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson that the winner, if Teofimo Lopez was going to be Shakur Stevenson, I was going to have Teofimo Lopez pound for pound number 1 or number 2. I said if Shakur Stevenson beat Teofimo Lopez, he's going to be pound for pound top 5, top 3. I don't have a problem with Shakur Stevenson being top 3 pound for pound by Ring Magazine. I do my own pound for pound list. But this is just Pudge Run Boxing. I know people respect Ring Magazine more than a little punchy punch. I know that. I know that. Because at the end of the day, I don't got the power of the pen to put to people into the Hall of Fame. And Ring Magazines, those panelists, those pundits, they have the power of the pen not only to create the pound for pound list, but also to put these fighters into the Hall of Fame. I don't have that power. But I agree that Shakur Stevenson should be number 3 on the pound for pound list. I'm cool with that. 2, 3, you can flip it around. 1, whatever you want. I'm cool with him being in the top 3, top 5. I'm cool with that. But just like we usually dictate certain conversations with the narratives that's put out there and dialogues and debates and stuff like that, Teofimo Lopez was not pound for pound leading up to the fight. Teofimo Lopez didn't get the respect as being a pound for pound fighter. As a matter of fact, Teofimo Lopez didn't get the respect of being the favorite. He was a massive underdog. Ladies and gentlemen, most of the boxing world picked Shakur Stevenson to win the fight, and he did. Nobody was surprised. Massive underdog, winning almost every round. Didn't knock him down. Didn't knock him out. Didn't stop him. Won basically every round. But Shakur Stevenson, I think he was number 7. Well, when he beat William Cepeda, he was number 10 on the ring pound for pound list. So by beating Teofimo Lopez, and this is what I'm always saying, yo, this is why I feel for Teo for the most part, bro, throughout his career. It's because when Teofimo Lopez gets a big win, he don't get massive respect. But when somebody even challenges Teo or beats Teo, oh my God, it's like they beat Floyd Mayweather. So Teofimo Lopez is not all it is. for the pundits in the sport of boxing, for the ring panelists, the zone active fighters and fans and YouTube boxing content creators. But when they beat Teofimo Lopez, hey yo, the person that beat Teofimo Lopez, oh my God, it's like you beat Floyd Mayweather. A lot of people are saying that Shakur Stevenson is pound for pound. Hey, yo, Max Kellerman, Mike Coppage on the Ring Magazine saying that Shakur Stevenson is pound for pound, not number 5 or 6 or 7 or 4 or 3. They say pound for pound number 1. That's beating Teofimo Lopez, who was not on the pound for pound list. This is why I understand why Teo is always frustrated, because he doesn't get the respect that he's due. But the person that beats Teofimo Lopez, challenges Teofimo Lopez, get the massive respect like they did something to somebody, but they treat Teofimo Lopez like a nobody. Let me know if I'm lying. Let me know, ladies and gentlemen, if your boy Punch on Boxing, a.k.a. Mr. Moonshine, is lying. We got 30 people looking on. It seems like people don't like talk. Ayo. And to be honest, I see people in the chat. I see people in the comment section always saying, when I'm talking about the Papoose and Clarissa Shields, one of my videos that I was talking about Terrence Bud Crawford, he did an interview instead, and he was talking about his baby mom situation, and they always be like, "Yo, Punch, stick to boxing, Punch, stick." But when I stick to boxing, y'all don't come and support boxing. And I'm not talking about the people that's in the chat right now. Look at the numbers. We got 33 people looking on. Tomorrow, I'm going to be talking about Papoose and Clarissa Shields through the whole week. Yeah, that's the respect they give Punch on Boxing. But then they lie and come to my Punch, stop giving us the tea. Yo, Punch, stop. But talk about boxing. Man, we got 27 people looking on talking boxing. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about Clarissa Shields and Papoose. Tomorrow. 5 hours. And anybody gonna come? I don't want nobody coming to Punch on Boxing in the chat saying, "Yo, Punch, but keep it boxing." No, we're gonna talk about Papoose and Clarissa Shields, and we're talking about the baby mama of the situation that Bud Crawford had with baby mama, and we're gonna be talking about the warrant that Baltimore has for Gervonta Tank Davis. Fuck, we talking about everybody else's personal life. Because people don't like boxing. People don't like boxing. I'm not going to waste my time, and people are not going to show up, and we're talking about boxing. But we're going to do it for today. We're going to finish for today. But tomorrow, we're talking about the matchup of French on Cruz de Jean, and if Papoose is still upstairs and not coming downstairs, we're going to visit Shields. It could be the ratio. Marsha said he ain't nobody. So if he ain't nobody, Shakur ain't nobody. If Teo ain't nobody, Marshall Washington says he ain't nobody. So if Teo ain't nobody, Shakur ain't beat nobody. So you know what? It's like just as good as him beating the electrician. Excuse me, right? And that's what I want to understand. Let me show y'all. Give me a sec. Give me a shake. They got Shakur Stevenson, pound for pound number 3. This was Shakur Stevenson when he beat William Cepeda. Let me take this thing out of the way. This was Shakur Stevenson. As soon as he beat William Cepeda, he just entered into the pound for pound list number 10. When Teo beat Arnold Barbosa, undefeated fighter, ranked top 5 in the junior welterweight division, he ain't get no praise, he ain't get no kudos, he ain't get no type of respect. Beat him over almost every round, he didn't get no respect. Teofimo Lopez, 2-time lineal champion, was not listed on the pound for pound list prior to the fight. But when Shakur beats Teofimo Lopez, in which people, this is not what I feel. You guys were saying, I'm not saying the people in the chat, I'm talking about in general in the sport of boxing. The people were saying that Teofimo Lopez is not pound for pound. He was a massive underdog. He's not that good. He's not that fast compared to Shakur Stevenson. He does it. His power didn't translate to the 140-pound division. But when he beat Teofimo Lopez, wow, he shoots up to number 3. Skipping everybody but Turbiev, Bivol, Bam Rodriguez. He's right there with Inoue. Do you know that Inoue been in the same position? Inoue, who is a 4-division world champion, 2-division undisputed world champion, and accomplished 2-division undisputed world champion in 12 months, ladies and gentlemen, has been in this spot for like 5 years, bruh. Bro, now Inoue been in the number 2, the number 3, the number 2, the number 3, the number 2. It doesn't matter if Inoue step up to the 3rd division. It doesn't matter if Inoue beats Stephen Fulton. It doesn't matter if Inoue beats Luis Neri. It doesn't matter if Inoue becomes a undisputed world champion for the 2nd time. It doesn't matter how many people he knocks out. Now, Inoue, El Japón, el Japanese guy, he stay in the number 2 and the number 3, the number 2 and the number 3. But Crawford just retired, so he's not number 2. Number 2 and number 3. Number 2, but Shakur Stevenson, in my estimation, your estimation, he beat the electrician, in which I call the electrician. He beat Yoshino before that. He beat Casocial before that. He ran from Edo de los Santos, and he beat Teofimo Lopez, a guy that in your estimation is no good. He's not right. He no pound for pound. He no ranking. He's not one of the best, and he shoots up all the way to number 3. Por eso que Teofimo Lopez is always complaining, because y'all do it to him. If Teo wasn't on none of that, let's see, this was right before the fight. Right before the fight. This was Shakur, then Shakur moved to number 8. Canelo is no longer there because he lost to Terrence Bud Crawford in September. As you all know, Shakur Stevenson beat William Cepeda. I think it was in July. Devin Haney beat Brian Norman Jr. What was it? September, November, something like that. November, I believe so. So he got put back into the pound for pound list. Tio was not there. Shakur is number 7. Junto Nakatani performed in January, December 31st or something like that. So he skipped everybody, even Bam Rodriguez, and shoots up to number 3. Do you know what these guys needed to do? Now, Inoue and Alessandro Usyk to just shoot up to number 3? Huh? This is no hater. This is me calling out the hypocrisy. This is me calling out the hypocrisy. This is not no hate on Shakur Stevenson. It's just a hypocrisy. Ladies and gentlemen, I did a video early on, and I say, you know what? Y'all seen what Teofimo Lopez after the fight said? You know what, Punch on Boxing, man, you gotta keep you keep it real. That's why I respect you. Call it how it is. Call it how you see it. You know what I'm saying? You're not biased to calling out the wins and the losses and stuff like that. And I did that. I could understand that the reason why Teofimo Lopez, I'm gonna be real. This not people gonna take it however way. I'm gonna break it down on bossy logically and objectively. I'm gonna call it how I see it. I'm not taking nothing away from Shakur Stevenson. As a matter of fact, I don't believe that Shakur Stevenson beat Teofimo Lopez physically. I think he beat him mentally. I think that Teofimo Lopez lost because of mental. Not because of the physical. Not because I don't think that Teofimo Lopez doesn't have a high IQ. We're already seeing that at the highest level. It's not that Teofimo Lopez just all of a sudden doesn't have athleticism. Just all of a sudden doesn't have no power. The power is the last thing that goes in the sport of boxing. Ladies and gentlemen, Teofimo Lopez lost mentally. The credit that I give Shakur is because Shakur beat him mentally. That's what it is. I'm not stupid. We could pretend all we want. We could see the X's and O's. People could use Teofimo Lopez Sr. as a scapegoat and say, "Oh my God, did you hear Teofimo Lopez Sr. in the corner saying this to his son?" And no, it doesn't matter if Angelo Dundee, Emmanuel Stewart, and Customato would have came through the grave and being in the corner and give all the instructions and stuff like that. Teofimo Lopez was not going to break out of the mental fatigue and the mental lapses that was going on leading up to the fight and in that ring. It don't matter. That's something that Teofimo Lopez, shout out to Teofimo Lopez. You already know I support Teofimo Lopez in and out the ring. But just like Teo said, he rocks with me because I call it how I see it. I call it how I see it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna call out how I see it because at the end of the day, it's gonna benefit my guy Teo. This is what Teo said for me. How he liked how Punch Drunk Boxing breaks down boxing.
Fighters that we've ever seen in and out the ring, inspiration. And I actually told myself doing this career, I told myself that I wanted to do the same thing. I wanted that. I want to be the double greatest. And I think it's moments like this. You got to take some on the chin so that it doesn't define that you're a quitter. It just shows that what more can you do. Inspires everybody in the world. And I'm only 28, so I still got a lot more in the tank, for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Punch Drunk always talks the realest, no matter what. I don't ever take it personal, ever. So you say what you gotta say, your hard facts on tonight, what you saw, because that's one thing that I like is that it's authentic and he keeps it thorough. But then most importantly, he's not biased. He's not biased. Yeah, he picks his sides for sure, as we all. But he's not biased when it comes to it. All right, who was the winner and who wasn't? Yeah. That I like. That I like a lot.
Appreciate it.
For sure, as we all. He's not biased when it comes to it. All right, who was the winner and who wasn't? That I like. That I like a lot. Appreciate it.
That was Teofimo Lopez after the fight. D-Wiz in the building. Was good? D-Wiz with a $5 super chat. D-Wiz, yo. He said, yo, Punch, before the fight, they said if Teo won, he still wouldn't have been top 5. Facts. Have been top 5 pound for pound. They don't even hide the hate. Facts, D-Wiz. Facts, D-Wiz. Let me tell you. And I'm going to piggyback off that, D-Wiz. I'm going to piggyback off that. We're living in the world where everybody, you can't even fake it. Everybody's on social media. Everybody look at, that's just the way of life. Maybe 10 years ago, and when people used to say, be like, hey, yo, man, this internet shit, social media and stuff like that, man. No, that's it. Social media is everything. Your phone is everything. You got your wallet here. Social media, this is how you gain. This is how you talk to friends. Hey, yo, I don't even see people exchange numbers anymore. You know what they say? Hey, yo, you got your IG? Do you got TikTok? Do you got this? People don't even exchange numbers anymore. So yes, everybody checks social media. That's just life. And to be honest, if I was in Teofimo Lopez's shoes, and I'm not saying that in the end of the day, I'm not, again, no excuses. That's Teofimo Lopez that's supposed to just see what's going on, hear whatever, and still keep his mental strength, keep his eyes on the prize, keep that takeover mentality. If you got to prove the haters wrong, I mean, if you got to prove a lot of people, if you got to show all these naysayers and all your supporters at the same time, it doesn't put it this way. When you're in that ring, it doesn't matter about your haters or your supporters. It doesn't matter when you go in this out. If you got troubles outside of the ring, controversy inside of the ring, women problems outside of the ring, family problems outside of the ring, anything outside of the ring, 36 minutes inside that ring. That's where you got your power. But if Teofimo Lopez is looking at all of this, and just like D-Wiz said, if he would have beaten Shakur Stevenson, he was not going to be in the pound for pound list, on the top 5 pound for pound list. He was going to get snubbed, just like he's been getting snubbed throughout his whole career. What is the motivation, ladies and gentlemen? What is the motivation for Teofimo Lopez? Let me tell you like this. You remember before the fight what Shakur Stevenson said, and you saw what Teofimo Lopez Sr. said after the fight. What did he say? He said, my son is mentally weak. Shakur Stevenson, leading up to the fight, they asked him, what you think is Teofimo Lopez's weakness? Mental. That he's mentally weak. How do you beat Teofimo Lopez now? His father said that his son is mentally weak. That's what he said after the fight. Shakur Stevenson that knows Teofimo Lopez ever since they was a teen. They know each other very, very well. Probably talk on the phone together and stuff like that throughout the years. That's why when Shakur Stevenson was saying what he's saying leading up to the fight, Shakur Stevenson, if you really think about it, even through Teofimo Lopez controversial statements and racial undertones in which a lot of people in the sport of boxing hated it, right? Shakur Stevenson was the guy that was saying in interviews, Teofimo Lopez is not racist, man. He just saying some silly shit. He not racist. Shakur Stevenson, leading up to the fight in that Ring Magazine podcast episode, is trying to give Teofimo Lopez his credit. Now, you undisputed. Shakur Stevenson, let me tell you like this. Shakur Stevenson did more for trying to motivate Teofimo Lopez. Now, you undisputed. You the truth. Because Shakur Stevenson knows that Teofimo Lopez is mentally fatigued with not getting the praise that he feel like he deserves. And Shakur Stevenson, you could tell vicariously, he's trying to, even by talking to Teo, I'm not talking about the last press conference, but no, you're the truth. I know you're the truth. I know you undisputed. While the whole world is saying he's not undisputed, Shakur is saying he's undisputed because he knows how Teo feels, how the sport of boxing been treating him, how the sport of boxing been snubbing him. But Shakur Stevenson is a competitor as well, right? He wants to fight the best Teofimo Lopez physically and mentally. Nah, Teo, you the truth. I know you the truth. I know you undisputed. I know you got a better resume. I know you beat Lomachenko. I know you beat Josh Taylor. All these fighters that they snub them. Oh, Vasily Lomachenko was injured. Vasily Lomachenko just didn't want to throw no punches. Josh Taylor was not in his prime. Josh Taylor was washed up. They try to take everything away from Teofimo Lopez. And that's why you saw in that podcast episode with Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez and Rick Reno, you see Teo just didn't have no more energy. And then leading up to the fight, I'm not saying this is the facts. All I'm saying is this is self-explanatory to me. Because I even told Teo after the fight, you fought like basically you want to get it over with. You was not going to get respected. Everybody was against you. Yeah, and just because everybody's against you, that doesn't mean that you feed into that and give them what they want. Because the stage was set for Teofimo Lopez to take over. Everything that he worked for, everything that he stood up for, even prior to the situation in the summer with Turkey and stuff like that. You got Madison Square Garden, it's sold out, it's pay-per-view, you got the money, you got the respective opponent, you Brooklyn, New York, you got the Madison Square Garden, it's sold out, you got it. That's it, the stage is set. It's time to show the world that you're the takeover. And he gave in. Now the question is, why? Why did you give in? This was the moment. All your peers was there. Many legends was there. The Ring Magazine award ceremony was the day before. So everybody is in the garden. Everybody. The stage is set for finally to show the world who the hell you are. And Teofimo Lopez didn't want it. So moving forward, Teofimo Lopez needs to reinvent himself. The takeover. And this is me. I break it on bossy logically and objectively. Teofimo Lopez, my guy, I'm gonna rock with Teofimo Lopez till the wheels fall off. But rocking with Teofimo Lopez till the wheels fall off is me ensuring Teofimo Lopez, this is what it is. This is how you should go by things. Because as a friend, as a supporter, that's the only way that I could. That's the only way I could be. You see how Andre Ward and Terrence Bud Crawford said, Andre Ward just said yesterday in his podcast that as soon as Shakur Stevenson was in the bed, won, and he said, yo, why you should have stopped them. They wasn't content with his victory. So I'm not going to be content. I'm not going to enable that mindset and that approach that Teofimo Lopez had going into that fight. because I'm not stupid. I've seen Teofimo Lopez as the amateurs. That was not Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez was pulling punches. Teofimo Lopez was not mentally strong in that fight. Teofimo Lopez didn't fight with urgency. Teofimo Lopez didn't care. Teofimo Lopez didn't have no motivation, no inspiration. And I'm not trying to take it away from Shakur Stevenson, but if you ask Shakur Stevenson himself, that been knowing Teofimo Lopez since he was a kid, since kids, even Shakur Stevenson know himself. He won't say it to the public, but he knows. I didn't fight Teo. I didn't fight Teo. Fuck. My message to Shakur Stevenson is this. You're great. I know you're great. I said when the smoke clears, it's going to be Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson. Erase this fight going into the next fight. Erase it because you ain't fight the best. He didn't bring it. He didn't make you adjust. Shakur Stevenson fought. He didn't even have to try to beat Teofimo Lopez. Let me tell you like this. The George Camboso, Teofimo Lopez is triple times the Teofimo Lopez that was there that night in Madison Square Garden versus Shakur Stevenson. That Teofimo Lopez, and I said that to Teofimo, and I said after, you know what I'm saying, after weeks after the fight, when I spoke to Teofimo Lopez, I said, I'm more proud of you in that fight with George Camboso, and I told his dad, I'm more proud of Teofimo Lopez, even after the fight, of that fight, than any of his fight, even more than the Vasily Lomachenko, because I know that man was willing to die in that ring, because I told Teofimo Lopez that Wednesday, why are you going to fight? I know he wasn't fit to fight. But even how he ended that fight in the championship rounds. Ese tigre show que un guerrero. But that Teofimo Lopez that fought versus Shakur Stevenson? Nah, man. Nah. You didn't try. You wasn't motivated. You wasn't inspired. This is what they wanted. Nah, that's not what they wanted. And if that's what they wanted, if everybody wanted that Shakur to be the guy because he was the prodigy going, that's the definition of the takeover. You're supposed to take over what they want and got. That was your moment to take over. That's why you call yourself the fucking takeover. So, in my opinion, Teofimo Lopez needs to reinvent himself. Don't need to call yourself the takeover no more. I think he should reinvent himself. This is no pun intended. Pretty boy Floyd, changed to Money Man, reinvent himself. The Executioner switched up to the Alien. The Louisville Lip, Cassius Clay switched up to Muhammad Ali, the spiritual Muslim Muhammad Ali. I'm the greatest. You know what I'm saying? A lot of fighters in the past had to reinvent themselves. PLN in the building was good. Yo, T.O. likes to take over the weight division he is currently in. I think he doesn't care much about title defenses. And 147, he will be motivated again. Good looking now. Colo 25. Mike from Boston in the building. I think Shakur is just that hard to hit. I think he's hard to hit. But that wasn't T.O. And many people are going to be like, oh, now you're creating excuses. No, I'm not creating excuses. I'm not. I'm just saying, I think that Shakur Stevenson is highly capable to adjust if Teofimo Lopez tried. I'm just saying, I know he didn't try. Shakur Stevenson beat Teofimo Lopez mentally. Not physically. Not game planning. Shakur didn't have to do anything. What was the game plan? Let me land a jab. Let me land a jab. Maybe Tio put money on Shakur to win or money to lose and they're laughing. I mean, that's going too far right there, Dave Fernandez. But, nah. I think that would have been a wonderful fight. I think that Shakur knows what his father exposed. You know what I'm saying? And I'm only going to say was said publicly also. Tio Sr. said this publicly, which could, now people are really going to go into the mental state of Teofimo Lopez leading up to a fight. And that's why Teofimo Lopez have to reinvent himself, have to fix the mental. What is your new purpose now? What is your new purpose now? Because your purpose is not to take over. What is your new purpose now? And I'm not living in the moment of this, because we've seen it time and time again in the sport of boxing. There's moments. Look, people call Shakur Stevenson a runner, and after he ran from Eddie De Los Santos, think that he's going to run every fight. He never showed that type of Shakur Stevenson, right? Devin Haney ran versus Jose Ramirez, and people thought that they was going to see the same Devin Haney and Brian Owens Jr. So I'm not saying we're going to see the same Teofimo Lopez that we've seen of Shakur Stevenson, but one thing about Tio is that he didn't have the reputation of not going for it. He don't have the reputation. Even if he's frustrated in a fight, he's going to want to fight. Teofimo Lopez didn't try to hit combinations. And when he did in the 8th round or in the 4th or 5th round, when he got Shakur Stevenson in the ropes, it's not that Shakur Stevenson could have done a round when he got him in the ropes. And I'm even looking at the fight and saying, why is not doing that? What's going on? Like, as much as people laugh and people want to criticize Teofimo Lopez Sr. instructions in which the zone camera caught, because I saw it afterwards, because I was out there in Madison Square Garden, so I didn't see what a lot of people was talking about, right? But me watching the fight, and I watched this fight already 6-7 times already, I understood exactly what Senior was saying. Because let me tell you like this, Senior knows his son more than anybody in the world. So when he's already telling his son what's going on, everybody's laughing, where's your power? No, because of course your power doesn't go. Power is the last thing that goes. You can't tell me that Teofimo Lopez just lost his power overnight. Fuck out of here. No, he didn't. I know what I'm watching. I know what I'm watching. Just like I gave Shakur Stevenson the benefit of the doubt when he ran versus Eddie De Los Santos, I said, that's not Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson got to be hurt. And what happened the next day? Go check my live. Go check my live with Shakur Stevenson. When everybody was on, oh, he's a runner, I said, that's not Shakur Stevenson. He got to be hurt or something like that. Even with Gervonta Tan Davis versus Pitbull Cruz, he got to be hurt. Nah, something is wrong with Gervonta Tan Davis. That's not him. I've seen Gervonta Tan Davis since the amateurs. Nah, that's not him. Nah. But it's a difference. You're not going to get the benefit of the doubt when you're now the villain in the sport of boxing. And that's what Teofimo Lopez is not getting the benefit of the doubt. Teofimo Lopez is getting treated like Adrian Broner when he lost to Maidana. A lot of self-inflicted as well is why people doesn't give it the benefit of the doubt. Things he's said. You know what I'm saying? That's, he got to take accountability for that. And maybe people is not going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Look at what Terrence Bud Crawford and Shakur Stevenson was saying in their recent interview, saying, oh, Teofimo Lopez is calling us monkey. He a racist. I don't like Teofimo Lopez is racist. That shit's going to be attached to him, whether he like it or not. That's going to be attached. Yeah, there's going to be people out there that saw it as trolling. Just like we saw Ryan Garcia as trolling. But when it comes to Tio didn't have... The thing about this is that I remember in the beginning, several years ago, Edgar Berlanga, people in Brooklyn was rocking with Tio. And then when he made those comments, or his dad leading up to the Kambosos fight and saying that my son is not like Edgar Berlanga and Josue Vargas, and then he made the comment, well, about, you know, when people was trying to criticize him with the Supreme Matias, and he said about the Puerto Rican fighters, and then the Puerto Rican fan base turned on him. The black fan base turned on him. Always going up against the powers that be, turned on him. Just created a lot of bad energy. I understood the frustration, but created so much of a bad energy that, and then you go on to, then of course there is the four kings. So you got a fan base of Shakur, a fan base of Tank, a fan base of Devin Haney. Now they hating you. You know what I'm saying? So I think that Teofimo Lopez needs to, I think by the end of 2026, if Teofimo Lopez needs what he needs to do mentally, he's gonna be in the top of his game. He's gonna be in the top of the sport. He's gonna be everybody gonna be talking about Teo. Yeah, it only takes one victory, and you're gonna see people give him his respect, just like we've seen it before. People doubted him after the Sandor Martin fight, and then he beat Josh Taylor. People are gonna doubt him right now, and then he gets, let's say if he gets a fight with Devin the Dream Haney, in which his manager Keith Conley said, and Bill Haney both said that they could get that fight done next. If, of course, Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson doesn't fight, because they all need a dance partner anyway. But it's not the physical. It's not the IQ. It has to be here. So nothing has to be in reinvention. It has to be a reinvention. He needs to have a goal like he did with Lomachenko. He needs the exactly, Mike. He needs a motivation. He wasn't motivated to fight Shakur. Or, you know, it's just it was different. It was different. You know what I'm saying? It was just different, and he need to find that edge back. I always say to people, my philosophy: do not dictate. Do not be motivated to prove people wrong, prove your haters wrong. That's the worst thing you could do. I'm telling y'all right now, a lot of people live with that code. All my life, in the blog culture, I've seen artists, I've seen people always trying to motivate themselves to prove haters wrong. Proving haters wrong, I keep on saying this year after year. Proving haters wrong is going to lead you to in the ditch. It's going to lead you to fucking hell. And I'm talking about earthly. Stop trying to prove the haters wrong. Proving haters wrong, that's negative energy. That's satanic energy. You're letting the devil dictate your motivation. And now you're going to look for the haters. You're trying to convert haters to supporters. Prove that God make no mistakes. Prove your supporters right. It's going to take you a long way in anything you do in life. Because you're going to get overwhelmed. I'm just saying, if anybody gonna get overwhelmed, let's say Teo overwhelmed, damn, he's not getting hit the respect that he's just due. The pundits not giving him respect. He's not on the pound for pound list. This media is not saying this media focus not giving him praise. They're all praising Shakur Stevenson, and that energy can feed you and be like, you know what? I'm not motivated. I'm not motivated because now you're listening to the ones that don't believe in you, and the people that do believe in you doesn't have a voice no more. And the gift and the position that you in. You pray on something. Everybody was criticizing Teofimo Lopez after the pulling out of the Devin Haney fight. But this is the money that you wanted. Well, now you got more money. You was fighting in American soil. You're fighting in Madison Square Garden. It's Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur. You're the champion, and everybody against you. Right? Teofimo Lopez does good when his back is against the wall. Teofimo Lopez does great when he's the underdog. Everything was on your plate. God gave everything to you like that. And it wasn't enough. God gives it and God takes it away. It wasn't enough. And if it's not enough, if that was not enough, then that's what I'm saying. He need to reinvent himself. My guy, Teofimo Lopez, need to reinvent himself. That's not the takeover mentality. And nobody, and even the fan base is only going to, how you say, like, inherit that type of support and feeling that if he says this is the takeover, we all saying is the takeover. But that was not the takeover. That was, here, Shakur. or you guys are saying this and that. You guys not giving me the respect. So toma, Shakur. Here, I'm going to give you which I all wanted. Shakur, he's the greatest. Here, toma. If that fight couldn't motivate him, then how will he ever motivate? That's a bad sign. And that's what I'm more worried about. That's what I'm more worried about. I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing because that's my guy, bro. And I got love for that guy. Got love for Tio. And that's the truth. That's the truth. And anybody that want to say a lie, it isn't going to benefit him. It's not going to benefit him to say a lie. If that fight couldn't motivate him, then how would it ever be motivated? That's a bad sign. It is a bad sign. Because now it's like, how can you not be motivated by that? How can you not want to rip this? Yeah, yo, even if Shakur Stevenson is doing good, man, adjust, push him, make it a little dirty. It's a fucking fight. Nah, no urgency. No animo. It's just like, I said this earlier. Why everybody most of the people had Jermell Charlo losing to Canelo Alvarez. People was not mad at Jermell Charlo because he lost to Canelo Alvarez, because the fans identify the lack of effort. That's one thing about boxing fans. It doesn't matter if they like you or dislike you. There's one thing a fight fan is going to identify right quick. Effort. Effort. That's why I always say, everything is not about winning and losing, but it's how you win and how you lose. I'm okay. I'm all right with Tio losing to George Camboso the way that he lost. I'm all right with that. Never was mad at that. I know how he was going inside that ring. I know the circumstances. Boom. It's all right. Un guerrero. But how he lost? Nah. And I know people's not going to agree. People are not going to want to understand what I'm saying, but people understand what I'm saying. But because it's Tio, some of y'all not going to give me the benefit of the doubt. You're going to be, oh, shut the fuck up, punch, stop it. No, you understand what I'm talking about. It's just like when Stephen Fulton fought O'Shaquie Foster. That wasn't Stephen Fulton. Shout out to O'Shaquie Foster. But I've been following Stephen Fulton as well. That was not Stephen Fulton. He didn't want to win that fight. He checked out before going inside that fight, and everybody knows it because we're hardcore boxing fans. We follow these guys throughout their whole career. Anybody gonna tell me? And the way that he came in out of shape and look, the lack of his punches and ese tigre didn't want to win. The same way I support Jermell Charlo, but Jermell Charlo didn't want to win versus Canelo Alvarez. We could see it. We could see it. Y'all, put it this way. A lot of people, y'all don't give my guy, Demetrius Andre, the benefit of the doubt. Y'all don't like him. But you know when he fought David Benavidez, he went for it. Am I right or wrong? He didn't go for it? The fans, you can identify. You don't got to like Demetrius Andre. But you know versus David Benavidez, the man actually went for it. You know he took some risks. But you know what? Damn, David Benavidez is too big, too strong. You know what I'm saying? And he just couldn't do it. But Demetrius Andre tried. I was sitting a row behind Mike Tyson, and Mike Tyson was a couple of seats to my right. And even Mike Tyson, after the 5th round, looked back and said, yo, this guy got balls, man. You're going to have to kill him. He doesn't stay down. The fans, even if it was 6 rounds, the fans wasn't cheated by Demetrius Andre. Dímelo, Caesar, que lo 20 pesos de Super Chari, Body K. Man, they said, bro, punch, I love you and everything, but can we please stop treating like it's the devastating loss? Teofimo Lopez lost by points, and Shakur never hurt him. Not once. Not if Shakur would have Ryan Garcia, Tio. Now it's devastating loss. It's not a devastating loss physically. It's a devastating loss mentally. It's not it's not a devastating loss physically. It's not the physical game. You know what I'm saying? It's not the physical game. It's the mental game. And if this magnitude, yo, I'm only saying, brother. I'm saying, look, Caesar, you think I want to? You think I like that Shakur knew? Oh, it's Teofimo Lopez mental. And then his father, after the fight, shout out to Teofimo Lopez Sr., my guy, said my son is mentally weak. Then it's out. So now we have to analyze the mental part. I'm not analyzing if I know that Teofimo Lopez is not a good boxer physically, that he doesn't have an IQ, that he doesn't have power, he's not speed. He got all of that. I know he got all of that. We've seen it at the highest level. You can't tell me that Shakur Stevenson is quicker and faster than a Lomachenko, and Lomachenko was just nothing. No, man, I know what I'm watching, brother. I know what I'm watching, my brother. Esa Tigre didn't fight, bro. I know what I'm watching, bro. I follow Tio since he's an amateur, bro. I came in this YouTube saying that Teofimo Lopez is the captain of the captain of the generation, the commander-in-chief. I know que he didn't try, bro. It's not about Shakur. Es la mente. Es la mente. Yo sé lo que yo estoy hablando. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about, bro. And then people can hate, oh, Punch, you saying this. No, you no estoy hablando mentira. I know I'm telling the truth. Let me say the truth. Let me get it out. That's the truth. You have to rewire that man. You have to rewire yourself. You have to, bro. You have to. I don't know what it is, but I know that wasn't. He's too good. You don't win an Olympic trial, the USA Olympic trial, because you don't got no skills. You don't beat Vasily Lomachenko while he was regarded pound for pound, 1, 2, 3. You can flip it around because you don't have no skills. You don't beat Josh Taylor and the undisputed, not because you don't got to. Y'all could be like, oh, Josh Taylor this and Lomachenko that and da-da-da, deja la mierda, mi gente. That's one thing that boxing fans identify. Is effort, lack of effort. Do you think that I know that Pitbull Cruz could beat Gervonta? You think that Pitbull Cruz is better than Gervonta St. Davis? No. Why people respect Pitbull Cruz? Because they see the effort. You're trying to win. You're pushing the envelope. This may be your only chance, or this is your chance. I know what I see. We know what we see. There's a lot of fights like that in the history of the sport of boxing that we look at and be like, what's happening? What's going on? The other man could be the other guy could be a better fighter that night. I'm all good with that. I'm all good with that. The other guy could be a better fighter that night. Shakur Stevenson is a hell of a 10. Shakur Stevenson, like I said, one of my favorite fighters as well. I said when the smoke clears, it's going to be Tio versus Shakur Stevenson. I always said that. The people who said Shakur won every round are the same people who deny the Epstein files. Yo, Punch, I love Tio. Ya no te quieres lo boxeo. So now we can't even say Tio gets up for the big moments. That's a narrative there. We can't say that. We can't say that. Styles, my brother. It's not style. It's not style. A master of range. It's not the master of range. Ito esa vaina. No, it's not. No, it's not. I'm telling you, it's not. It's not. It's not. It's not what won the fight. Not the style of range, nothing. Shakur Stevenson didn't even have to identify range. Shakur Stevenson didn't have to go, hey, yo, Shakur Stevenson didn't even have to think to win that fight. I've seen this fight so many times. Shakur Stevenson standing in the middle of the ring, was not even getting pushed. Shakur Stevenson did, and it was very, very, very comfortable. I know what I'm talking about. Man, I study boxing, man. I study this shit, bro. 11 to 13, 15 hours a day. That's all I do. That's my hobby. That is my hobby. I do film study almost every fucking day since I was 11 years old. I know what I'm talking about. I know these fighters. I know when they try and I know when they're not. I know. So when I'm telling y'all, no, it wasn't Shakur. Didn't have to identify rain. It wasn't Shakur. Oh, automatic. This matrix defense. No era eso. No era eso. No era eso. If I'm throwing the same punch, the right hand to the solar plex throughout 12 rounds, and not even throwing a hook throughout the fight, que yo estoy esperando, yo no estoy haciendo nada. You're gonna keep on doing the same thing. Yo me voy a quedar ahí mimito. Weep, ching, que yo estoy diciendo. There's nothing different. Teofimo Lopez style is an unpredictable style. He's not stupid. Come on, man. Teofimo Lopez made Shakur Stevenson look like Superman. But Shakur really didn't do anything special. Analyze the fight. He didn't do nothing special. He didn't do nothing special. And that's the sad part. Teo made Shakur Stevenson look like Superman because his lack of urgency and motivated and inspiration and not following game plan and not going for it, not throwing combinations or nothing like that. There was one sequence that Teofimo Lopez had his hand down like he had on the southpaw and got hit with a jab like that. Like this. Hands like this. Bing! And got bing! Bing! Eso, come on. I know what I'm talking about, bro. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. Teo is basic fights with lead hand down. So Shakur wasn't anything special. Teo was just easy work. Oh, he made it an easy work. Hey, yo, Lomachenko fought all over the world. He's seen every style. Even when they were trying to ask, but look at the interview when they asked Vasily Lomachenko and Devin Haney and stuff like that, and with the difference. He's not predictable. That's not even Teofimo Lopez style. That he's predictable. Is that he didn't go in there to win. And I saw it in the fight. And the more that I do the film study, because of course I'm gonna do film. Hey, that was how Shakur was stepping on Teo's toes throughout the fight and limit the power with that straight right hand, limit the jab and countering. If you put it this way, go look at Teofimo versus Shakur, right? And just look at Shakur playing around with Richardson Hitchens. And look what Shakur and Richardson Hitchens do to each other. You know what I'm saying? Teo fought like he checked out. So he fought. Teo and you think I like saying this? But I just like Teo said, yo, Punch. He respects me because I keep it real. Because I keep it real. This is not Teo. I know that Teo is going to show. He's going to show that he's the man by the end of 2026. Mark my words. Mark my words. Mark my words. But something when it comes to this fight, mark my words. He's going to have to reevaluate himself. Going to reinvent and reevaluate himself. Find his new purpose. I believe he's smart. He's a good dude. And no tiene vicio. All he wants is respect. All he wants is to be acknowledged and his accomplishment to be acknowledged. And he found that in the sport of boxing. Anything that you did, don't wait on it. And it seems like he waited on it. I said, look at my video right here. Give me a second. Give me a second. That's what I said right here. Hold on. This is one of the video. This was 12 days before the fight. The real weakness of Teofimo. The real weakness for Teofimo Lopez, and I thought that, he was rewired, right? Is that he cares. He cares. Fuck the haters. Fuck the naysayers. Forget about being praised. Forget about it. You want it from people that's not gonna give it to you. All these guys, and I noticed it, and I said I said this even during my lives. I said this during my lives. He needs to do what Floyd Mayweather did mentally. Floyd Mayweather, if you remember on the come up, was always wanted his validation, wanted people to notice that he's great, always that. And I remember that interview. You remember that post-fight interview with Letterman, where you could see the anger, you could see the emotions of Floyd Mayweather. You guys never gave me my shake. You guys never give me my just due. You could see the emotions. But if you've been following Pretty Boy Floyd, like I've been following Pretty Boy Floyd always felt like he was getting snubbed over Oscar de la Hoya. He hated Oscar de la Hoya because he was getting snubbed. He's always getting snubbed, but then another fighter appear and he'll get snubbed. But it got to the point where Floyd Mayweather rewired and ain't give a fuck about the fans, ain't give a fuck about the media, ain't give a fuck about you gonna respect them. He rewired himself, and now I don't care about entertaining y'all. I'm going out there and just win, talk my shit. I don't care. Don't give me none of the props anymore. I don't care anymore. When Floyd Mayweather got to I don't give a damn attitude, I'm not even going to. I don't need the boxing validation. I'm gonna go do things outside of boxing. I'm gonna get fans or whatever or haters outside. I'm gonna do Dancing with the Stars. I'm gonna do WWE. I'm gonna do my own thing. Fuck y'all in the boxing. Y'all never gonna give me my just due. I'm already a villain. You already got the Oscar de la Hoyas of the world. Now you bringing the Manny Pacquiao. You got the Ricky Hantons outside. You guys are never gonna give me my just due. But you keep going. And you keep winning, and you keep getting better, and you keep getting your tools sharpened up. You keep that. Muhammad Ali, the greatest of all time. Go look at the interview. We all saw it. Hold on. Come on. Hold on. Give me a second. The infamous. This is the infamous. Y'all remember this? Y'all remember the infamous? Tio, every great fighter deal with this. They never get their just due. Who cares? Who cares?
Is alive right now, and everybody stop talking now. Attention. I told you, all of my critics, I told you all that I was the greatest of all time when I beat Sonny Liston. I told you today I'm still the greatest of all time. Never again defeat me. Never again say that I'm going to be defeated. Never again make me the underdog until I'm about 50 years old. Right. Then you might get me. But I didn't dance. I didn't dance for a reason. I wanted to make him know all his power. I kept telling.
I love that. I love that attitude. You don't think he was serious? He was serious. Yeah, he has a little jokey joke. He was serious about that. But even Muhammad Ali needed to reinvent himself there. You know what I'm saying? So Teofimo Lopez got to reinvent himself. Fuck the takeover. The takeover is for the haters. Forget about the takeover, taking over. Taking over what? Forget about taking over. Now it's time to find a new purpose. Is do it for you. Strictly for you. Not for the BWAA, the Biders Writers Association. Not for the credit. Not for the pundits. Not for the haters. And not for even your fans. What is your purpose now? What is going to quench your thirst in terms of your own greatness? And that's it. And you're going to get back. And then you're going to be rejuvenated. Some people do a lot of things in the world for others. And it gets to the point where then they lose their motivation. You know what I'm saying? The greater you are, the more naysayers you're gonna have. Even to today, LeBron James gets snubbed because there's people be like, "Yo, you're not better than Michael Jordan." He has to deal with that every day. But when LeBron James finally retires, they're gonna be like, "Yo, look at this guy's career, bro." Just like we look at Floyd Mayweather, and just like we look at Muhammad Ali. We're like, damn, man. We compare now every fighter to Floyd Mayweather now. Because now we really know this. We don't compare every fighter to Manny Pacquiao. We don't compare every fighter to Julio Cesar Chavez. Every fighter in America that's coming now, we're comparing. Is he the next Floyd? Is it Devin Haney the next Floyd? Is Shakur Stevenson the next Floyd? Is Devonta Tank Davis the next Floyd? Is Abdullah Mason going to be the next Floyd? No. Now Floyd. Now, hey, ladies and gentlemen, I know it in your hearts. We miss Floyd Mayweather. Oh, Floyd Mayweather is boring. No, I want Floyd Mayweather back. I miss Floyd Mayweather, bro. I miss him, bro. Now we know what greatness was. I miss that guy. Floyd Mayweather is so great. If Floyd Mayweather comes out of retirement right now and I say, yo, Floyd Mayweather versus Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson, you were going to pick Floyd Mayweather to win. At age 49, we pick Floyd Mayweather to win. I miss Floyd, bro. But if in the end of his career, after Manny Pacquiao, Andre Berto, man, retire, man. He's boring. He doesn't do this, that. Yeah, I miss Pretty Boy Floyd, huh? In this era, Money May is the Pretty Boy Floyd. He was exciting as Money May. And at this level, when you're competing versus a guy like Shakur Stevenson, that he got Andre Ward and Terrence Bud Crawford and Floyd Mayweather on speed dial. He has a whole team. Everything is working on all cylinders, from business, from wisdom. You're competing with that. Fighters learn. This is the highest level that you can get. This is the highest level you can get. When you're dealing with when you up against something, it's more than just the fight in the ring. It's everything. Everything gotta be in order, bro. Everything gotta be in order. Do I believe that Shakur Stevenson is pound for pound number 3? Yes, I do. Because for me, Teofimo Lopez at the time was pound for pound top 5, top 6. So yes, Ring got it right. But Ring had it wrong, not putting Teofimo Lopez pound for pound. I was at a club partying Chicago's best DJ, Julian Lopez, almost crying, watching out for updates on Teo fight. Went home and watched the fight. That wasn't Teo, Maria. That wasn't. But I not taking anything away from what Shakur Stevenson did, but Teo lost that fight mentally. It wasn't physically. It wasn't that this person had a higher IQ than him. It wasn't the distance of the jab and distance, the master of distance. Eso no era eso. Shakur didn't have to try. This was less than a sparring match. I think that Shakur Stevenson competes in the, compared to what Teofimo Lopez showed that night. Moses would have competed better than Teo. Teo didn't want to compete. Teo didn't want to adjust. Teo fought like he checked out. Teo, this is how bad, the more that I see this fight and I do film study, Teo fought. Teo fought like he took a dive. That's how Teo fought. And whatever mentally he's going through or was going through, hopefully my guy Teofimo Lopez get that type of time, that help, the whatever he needs to go through mentally to really readjust, reinvent, and be who you're destined to be. Tio Senior Tio Senior doesn't need to retire. That's a scapegoat. It wasn't Teofimo Lopez Sr. Tio Senior told his son exactly what he needed to tell his son as a father and as a trainer at the same time. Tio Senior and Tio Junior is very, very successful in the world as a world class fighter and trainer. No, it's not Senior. That's a scapegoat. I'm tired of everybody saying the same shit. Oh, Senior gotta go. Senior gotta no. That display is all Junior. That display was all Tio Junior. Ain't no trainer. I don't like I said in the beginning. It doesn't matter if Emmanuel Stewart and Angelo Dundee viene and trains Teofimo Lopez. If he's not ready to execute and his mind is not there, it don't matter. Yeah, where's your power? The same shit that you would say to your kid. Where's your power? Yo, snap the fucking punches, bro. He knows his son. You think you know, ladies and gentlemen, you think that you guys know Tio more than Tio Senior? Sometimes people, they look at the father trainer, right? They be like, oh shit, this is his father. They're trying to live vicariously through their sons. Ain't no father trying to live vicariously through their sons. They love their sons. They want them. Every great father wants their son to be better than them. Listen again, because there's another trainer there that's telling him to make these adjustments. Stacy, you guys are so focused on what Senior's saying, but look what Stacy is telling Senior in the right side of his ear. He's giving some instructions. Go look back at those clips. Matter of fact, go look back at the same clips that everybody is talking about Senior, but he's getting the instructions. And Tio said in the post-fight interview in the locker room, after getting stitched up, he said that my corner was giving me instruction. We did have a game plan. I didn't do nothing. I didn't listen to them. Listen to what Tio said too. He didn't listen. He said, Punch, I wasn't with it, bro, but it's best for Tio to change. It's not that. You guys are saying the same thing. That's not going to change. You guys are not listening. I'm an hour and 16 minutes. It has nothing to do with training. It has everything to do with this, ladies and gentlemen, is this. Listen to Punch Drunk Boxing. It is this. It don't matter who he got in that corner. Usted no está entendiendo lo que estoy diciendo ustedes. Se lo tengo que decir en español. La mente. It don't matter. Ain't nothing that was going to change that fight. Nothing. No instructions from anybody, any credible trainer that you think nothing was going to change. Watch that fight again. And watch that fight as objective as anybody wants to see. Detail it. Tio don't have a high guard. They got to get better. Man, if he got a high guard and then he gets hit in the body, this kid has been successful in his style. Teofimo Lopez never lost a southpaw. Not even the amateurs. Teofimo Lopez, best wins of his career as a southpaw. Tio is not a stupid fighter, ladies and gentlemen. Stop. Ladies and gentlemen, stop for a minute repeating what everybody else said about how everybody got a different style. Every fighter is a one of one. James Toney had his hand down. One of the best defensive fighters. Roy Jones Jr. had his hand down. The only time that Floyd Mayweather used to use the high guard, he was about to disguise that straight right hand, and that's what it was. And he used the high guard on the pressure fighter. Everybody got a style. Everybody is not textbook. And at this point in boxing, no fighter is textbook. It's the same thing with let's say Shakur Stevenson using the shoulder roll from the southpaw style. Or over right hand could connect and boom. If he doesn't catch that with his shoulder, over right hand connects. What's the kryptonite to the southpaw? The right hand. So southpaws don't even like using the shoulder roll. You understand what I'm saying? High, low, dímelo con los dos besos de plátano. If it's moonshine, gotta be great, better than Foster Flakes. It's not that, man. You could get better at your craft and all that stuff and add to your toolbox. But I'm going to say it like this right now. It's not a lot of things at the age of 28 that these guys are going to change. Devin Haney's not going to change that much. Shakur's not going to change that much. Ryan Garcia's not going to change that much. You could flip trainers all you want. It's not going to change that much. Your approach and game plan may change. That's it. Your approach, your mindset, your game plan, your preparation. But styles that make you comfortable, you've been having the same styles for years and years and been successful and stuff like that. No, eso de la que no quería ganar. He didn't do what it took for him to win. He didn't want it. And no lo quería. And that's what it was. He didn't want to take it. He didn't want to prove it. He didn't want to be the takeover that night. He didn't want to blow the roof off the Madison Square Garden. That's not the approach. Tio was the type that he would die in that ring and be a happy man dying in the ring. I know Tio, brother. I seen it at his worst. I seen it as frustration. He'll still go for it. He'll chase you down. If you run, I'll chase you down, even when you've been criticized. And I look at it, I say, I'm going to be real. Look like Tio got in there after busting one. My coach always made a point to cuss dudes out when he saw their energy was low. You can see when a guy is tired from laying up. Hey yo, and I like that type of message. You know, I like this because you have an idea of what you're watching. Again, we're the hardcore boxing fans here in this chat. Let's not act dumb like we don't know what we're talking about. Tio has enough fights. Shakur has enough fights. We know their character. We know their mannerism. We know their skill set. We know what they could do. They know we know them. At this point, we know them. I was thinking of the same thing. I said, damn, did he fuck a shorty last night, bro? I was thinking the same thing. Because straight off the bat, I'm like, damn, he ain't even pivoting the way that he was. Hey, yo, look at Teofimo Lopez's footwork. Even with Barbosa. Just look at the way he was moving fluently. And people are going to be like, oh, no, that was Barbosa. No, his approach. Mira, Teofimo Lopez. Look at the structure. Look at his athleticism. Look at the punch selection. Look at his approach. It was opposite. It was opposite. And don't tell me, oh, no, it's a Barbosa. You're dealing with Barbosa and Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson is not going to overwhelm anybody. Shakur Stevenson at least is going to give you, and that fight right there with Teofimo Lopez, Shakur Stevenson was giving Teofimo Lopez an opportunity. Because Shakur Stevenson didn't run. He didn't do anything. He didn't even, hey, yo, Shakur Stevenson ain't even back up. Shakur Stevenson ain't even back up. But Tio didn't try to back him up either. Damn, that was a shorty in the room with him. I don't know, man, but shit. That's what I was thinking. In the first round, I'm like, damn, was he fucking a shorty? Some shorty last night? Tio can't match up with Shakur. Two different. He about with the T that Tio can't match up with Shakur. Yo, Shakur doesn't believe that. TJ, if Shakur believed that he couldn't match him up, Shakur would have said, I'm going to take this guy out. Easy. Why you don't think he took him out easy? Come on, man. Even Shakur was surprised, man. Shakur been knowing Tio all his life. Not all his life, but I'm saying for the most part of his boxing career in the amateurs and in the pros. Shakur knows. Shakur saw Teofimo Lopez and said in the Barbosa fight that he was doing some Roy Jones Jr. shit. He the truth. You think that Shakur Stevenson called anybody the truth? Shakur knows Tio, man. They've been fighting each other since they was fucking 11, 12, or 13 years old, my brother. That wasn't Teo. Shakur that knows that wasn't Teo. That's why he was surprised. He's like, yo, man, he had no power. He was, man, slow. Well, you think you get slow overnight? You think that you lose power overnight at the age of 28? My brothers. We got to keep it real. Shakur is probably number of this. And look, like I said, he was always going to be, Shakur was always going to be top 3, pound for pound, regardless if he would have fought Teofimo Lopez or not. I always regard Shakur as that guy. He is that guy. I always say the captain of the generation, Teofimo Lopez, and the general is Shakur Stevenson. Teo have no real power. Yeah, you lose power overnight. Yeah, I know. If y'all want to play dumb, we could play dumb. But we're not playing dumb with this. I can't. I'm not wasting my time to play dumb. I got 2 little ones right there. I'm not playing dumb. I know what the fuck I'm watching. It's all here. And you don't got here, doesn't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter. You remember when Mike Tyson said, I don't want it anymore. I just don't want it anymore. A trainer can't want it for you. A trainer can't want it for you. We seen it before. We seen it. Ain't nothing a trainer could do to get them going, bro. That's it. He said, we watched Teo get taken to school. Teo cut school. Teo wasn't taken to school. Teo was napping in class. Y'all think that he got taken to school. Teo was just napping in class. Put it this way. Teo was in school and Teo knows the answers, but he doesn't want to raise his hand. Don't mind me, though. Yeah, watch Teo get taken to school. He wasn't taken to school. He went to class and was daydreaming. You talking about school? He said, yeah, whatever. Nah, I got you on that one. Teofimo Lopez went to school and was daydreaming. That's what he did. He get taken to school and taken to school. He ain't get taken to school and nothing. Ain't a jab here and there. That wasn't taken to school. That's Teo didn't want to take the test. Teo went to class and they don't want to do the work. Teo needs to get back versus Cambosa. He's stuck in a dimension. It don't matter who it is against. You know what I'm saying? You just got to get it. You got to get motivated again. Got to get inspired. And he got to figure out what's his new purpose. That's it. Up until I could play the dummy and I could say the same shit what everybody else is saying. That's the easiest shit to say. I remember you said Teo needs structure. Do you think that will really help or is meant to, like you said? I think that's both because Stacy said Teo has been succeeding at 60%. He said, Stacy told me he never seen a fighter so gifted like Teo and how he made it this far with the structure that he had. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, structure is one. You know, one thing I've noticed, though, that Teo he knows how to work with chaos, though. You know what I'm saying? You know how to work with chaos, but this time around, I think, again, I felt like Teo, to me, his weakness, and I did the video about it, I think that he cares too much. He cares too much. I remember he did a podcast episode and he was talking to, you remember Rolly's ex-trainer, Bullet, right? And Bill goes, he said, yo, T.O., man, the thing is that you care too much. He says, but I care about the sport. I'm like, but you got to understand that this is a business and stuff like that. And then T.O. said, well, I don't want to be in this no more. If it's not going to be this. T.O. expected what every inspiring fighter should expect. I'm going to tell you like this. It's almost like an artist, a music artist. You want to be famous, you want to be successful, you want your song to be heard, and then you go into the industry and now you see the ditties. Everything you thought is not all good and dandy. All you had to do is beat the likes of Lomachenko, right? Like he did. Got hiccup, right? Got a hiccup, just like a lot of legendary fighters have. Come right back to another division, beat Josh Taylor. Not every fight you're all God Almighty, but he didn't get the respect that he was due. He didn't. So a kid like that, he's so motivated to be the best, but he never gets credit. Shit, what I'm motivated about. Yeah, the world just told me that the pundit said if T.O. would have beaten Shakur, he was not going to be top 5 pound for pound. Diablo. And this is what I'm doing this live. Leading up to the fight, a bunch of pundits said that if T.O. beat Shakur, he wouldn't even be top 5 pound for pound, but Shakur beats T.O. He an underdog. He's not on the pound for pound list, and now Shakur's on pound for pound number 3. And Max Kellerman and Mike Coppinger yesterday was saying that he's arguably number 1 with Alexander Usyk. But if T.O. would have been Shakur, that would have been nothing. So I mimito zapped the so if I beat this guy, it's still nothing. All right, man, whatever. Oh, whatever. You know what? Here, let me get my money and go home. I'm never gonna get the respect. I can't even beat Shakur, and I can't even beat that. Yep. I'm out of here. No, he shouldn't retire. He just shouldn't care anymore. He shouldn't care. Just fight. Have fun. Your purpose is for your own greatness. You're going to take it with you. Forget about what people are going to say, whatever they're going to place you. That's what kept other fighters going. If Floyd Mayweather would have cared too much, he would have retired a long time ago. He said, F it, I'm just going to fight for the money now. Y'all ain't going to give me the respect anyway. Y'all never give me my just due. Now I'm going to pick and choose. Now I'm going to play the politic game now. Now I'm going to play the business. This is what y'all want. Play the business. You don't hear these other great fighters? Why Canelo Alvarez lasts long? Canelo Alvarez says, look at every time you see somebody, you call them out, I do it. I don't care. What does Canelo Alvarez says? I don't care. I don't care what you say. You want me to fight David Benavidez? I won't fight David Benavidez. I don't care. I do whatever I want to do. Tio, when he gets in position again, just do whatever you want to do, Tio. Forget about it. The only one that's going to look at you like Superman unconditionally is going to be your son. And shout out to new kid coming along. That's it. Everybody else could be bickering around. You have to eliminate every fighter. I'm going to say this, every fighter eliminate every negative opinions. Not opinions I'm just talking about not opinions that's gonna have you down, like negative conspiracy theory, negative opinions of the industry, or they want you to lose, nobody wants you to win, and stuff like that. is they're conspiring against you, and all those negative thoughts. Eliminate all those negative. And people don't do it with bad intentions, but what I'm saying is that just eliminate all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like you ever and I know there's people, you get into a point in life where there's people around you, como buen chinchero, ¿verdad? That they like to have all this negative energy. Like, yo, you know, this person did this, and yo, my man, I don't care, bro. I'm here to have a good time. And I don't even want to talk about motherfuckers in the block. I don't want to talk about nothing, man. Come on, I don't care. You know, those people that they just have conversation, but it's negative. Talking about somebody negative. Yo, you better watch out for this. Yo, this person says something about you. Yo, this person, I don't care. Keep that. I don't care what they say about me. You ever been in that situation, folks? When you got this, it could be one of your friends. It could be one of your associates. They always bring that negative energy. Yo, you know what they said about you? Yo, you better watch out with this. Yo, you better watch out with this. Yo, don't do this. Yo, try not to go over there. Yo, my man, leave me the F alone, bro. Stop with this negative energy. I'm trying to have a good time, man. I'm thinking positive. I don't care. And that's what you need to go back to. Now, what not back to, that's how you need to think. And he's young enough to rewire himself, add people around him, channel people around him, channel the people that's going to be the extension of his goals. Dude, he lost because he's inferior boxer. Stop crying and making excuses. I'm gonna make excuses to the day that I die. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Cállate la maldita boca. Oh, shut the fuck up and stop it. So get the fuck out of my fucking channel, estúpido, maldito mamahuevazo, So get the fuck out of here. Motherfuckers in my chat, all fucking for an hour, diciendo la misma cosa. Listen and learn something, maldito palomo. That this is not an excuse to not benefit Shakur. This is to let Tio know what needs to be done moving forward. Ain't nobody giving no damn passes to Tio. They're not creating an excuse saying that Tio didn't do this and Tio should do this and Tio should do that and Tio to take over and the mentality did this. That's to rebuild, to reinsure. Hey, yo, you got to do this. You know, don't pay attention to this. You lost because of here. Este tigre está viniendo a ti de que, you're making excuses. Excuses for who? Vete de aquí. If you don't like it, vete de aquí, maldito palomo. Get the fuck out of here. La que no lo habes de todo Mr. André. Palomo. You see how I do it? And you see that, yo, Tio, how I block this negative energy? Just like that. Block them out of your life. That's what you got to do. Just like I did right here. There's going to be a block party 2026. Stop with the excuses after listening to Punch give Shakur. ¿Verdad? Ese tigre crazy. La gente son estúpidos. You feel me? Hey, yo, put it this way. If Tio wasn't the type that you don't take this personal, like he said, and he acknowledged and he appreciates me being real. If it was another person, they'd be like, yo, Punch, you hating on me and shit like that. Nah, man. I say this because I see him as my friend, and I see that, you know what, the mental's taking a toll on you. You need to look at things this way. Because you're too good, you're gifted, you're great. Teofimo Lopez, and if you ask any trainer that has worked with Teofimo Lopez, who have even trained, who have really want to tell you Teofimo Lopez's opinion as a fighter, Teofimo Lopez is one of the most gifted. That's all I hear from every trainer around the sport. Yo, Teofimo Lopez is one of the most gifted fighters. Things that he does, you can't teach. Do you know how many trainers I've spoken to in the past, like 5-6 years that I've been doing media and all that, going to gyms and stuff like that? Every trainer, they might not like the things that Teofimo Lopez be saying, but when it comes as a fighter, everybody will want to train Teofimo Lopez. Every trainer I've spoken in the sport of boxing. If he's not a link to an opposing fighter, which then there's an opposing team to another trainer, that's because they just want to hate on Tio. Speak to anybody, bro. They know what they're watching. Why you think Bernard Hopkins said a long time ago? He said nobody beats Teofimo Lopez. The only guy that could beat Teofimo Lopez is himself. Bernard Hopkins, he's seen the talent of Teo. Bernard Hopkins said that. He said, I don't think nobody beats Teofimo Lopez. The only one that could beat him is himself. Out of all the bunches of all these guys, Teo was the best. He said that. Everybody gonna talk, man. They're promoting the fight, TJ. You think you don't tell me you're a boxing fan that you hear people talk trash and you really believe, oh my God, they talk so much trash. Every time after a fight, you always see the humbleness of a fighter. You think that Teo hates Shakur? You think that Shakur hates Teo? The people around Shakur don't like Teo. But Crawford don't like Teo. But Shakur, he respects Teo. Both of these guys. Why you think Shakur says, yo, I want to introduce my daughter to your son and stuff like that? Shakur and Teo talked. You remember that interview that he had that Shakur had a year ago? And he said, yo, I spoke to Teofimo Lopez on the phone like for an hour and a half. They are acquaintances. They're affiliate. They're borderline friends. All these guys. Don't think that these guys don't know. They're not from the streets either, bro. The judges, bro, no. But anyway, that's what Teofimo Lopez, in my opinion, he's gonna get back to the rhythm of things. He's going. I'm telling you, I think he's smart enough. I believe that he knows what it is. He knows what he needs to do. He knows how to. I believe that he can rewire his mind and highly be successful. I know. I got no doubt about that. Punch. Don't let them get to you. But it's time to have honest convos about Teo. He got to be careful because this is a pivotal time for him. He got to get his mind right, his soul right. He needs grace, love, but truth. I feel for him. Good looking out boxing talk. That's what I'm talking about. No. They don't get to me. Is that. Boxing talk, I appreciate you, my brother. Love you, my brother. You know what it is that when I'm being honest with no filter at all. I'm a person, I don't have no filter. But there's other people that wouldn't even talk like me, like me if I'm affiliated with somebody. Like, I don't have to do this live. I don't have to say these things publicly. You know what I'm saying? Is that I'm real enough, but I still it's almost like we in the block, right? And we're debating with friends, and you tell your friend this, and I could tell you that shit in front of everybody. We could be in the block. I look at this like we in the block. You feel me? We talk sports. We talk about women. We let you know. We argue. Nigga, you ain't shit, bro. What the fuck out of it? Like if you playing basketball in the court, and I'm saying that you ain't shit. I'm not saying that you ain't shit. But then when we talking about serious shit, I'm going to tell you that I'm going to look out for you, bro. I've argued with friends because you tell them the truth and they'll tell me the truth. Hey, yo, Punch, you take a lot of things personal. Yo, Crazy Eddie, you take things personal. Yo, you got to do this. Why don't you do that? And I'm like, nah, because da-da-da-da-da-da. But then that's my friend. He looking out for me. He knows. You know how many times me and my brother, my older brother, we argue? But do you think that my brother's going to tell me something that's not going to benefit me? My brother never in my life told me something that's not going to benefit me and vice versa. But we like this, we clash because sometimes the truth hurts. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes, put it this way, boxing talk, not every time you want to hear the truth. It's not that you want to hear the lie. It's that you just, anybody ever caught themselves knowing they got the bill? And they don't even want to open up the bill. You know what you owe, motherfucker. You just don't want to owe. I'm sorry with my language. You just don't want to open up the bill right now because you don't want to see it. Right? I don't want to look at that bill. You know the light bill and the water bill just came in and you're looking at this shit like that. I'm like, I ain't going to open it right now because I ain't going to pay that shit right now. You know when the bill collector is calling you and stuff like that, you're looking at your phone, I ain't going to pick up right now, man. I see you in like a couple of days, man. I'll answer in a couple of days. I got nothing for you right now. It's just like that. You're not getting mad at them, but you know I don't want to listen. I don't want to talk to you right now. Sometimes you don't want the truth, or you don't want to hear it, or you don't want your boy to echo the massive criticism, what you may deem your haters or constructive criticism, because you don't got time for, come on, everybody against me right now. I don't want to hear from you. I don't got time. Come on, I need some uplifting. Sometimes you think that your delivery is uplifting and it's not. You know what I'm saying? I think I've had that problem throughout my whole life. My friends used to say, yo, Punch, or yo, Crazy Eddie, yo, you saying the real shit, but it's how you say it. Throughout my whole life, people used to tell me that. Hey, yo, no, you're not saying the wrong thing, but it's how you say it and when you saying it. Sometimes the timing is right. Maybe right now, what I'm saying, I'm doing this live, maybe the timing is all wrong. Maybe Teo be like, yo, Punch, keep on saying what you're saying, man. It needs to be said. You know what I'm saying? Or he could be like, man, come on, man. You doing that live, man. Or it could be Teo saying true, or people around him could disagree. Maybe Teo Sr. could disagree, but Teo saying he agree, or vice versa. Maybe Teo Sr. saying, hey, Moon is saying the real shit. But damn, man, Moon, why you saying it like that? Or Mama Lopez, shout out to Mama Lopez, beautiful woman, right? She don't like when, she don't like no, Mama Lopez don't want to hear no damn criticism of her son. She don't care who it is. You know what I'm saying? The sisters don't want to hear no criticism of Teo. They don't, no, Punch. Did you say these things? Did you say? No. Because the whole world is saying something what could be constructive criticism or harsh criticism or hate. You Punch. We don't manage too much. But I'm not saying I believe that Teofimo Lopez is as great as he wants to be. Teofimo Lopez is a gifted fighter. Teofimo Lopez could do things in that ring that a lot of these fighters can't do, including Shakur, if Teofimo Lopez wants to. I keep the same energy. I think that Shakur can't do certain things that Teofimo Lopez can't do. And Shakur knows it. That's why Shakur says he does some Roy Jones Jr. shit. Shakur don't see himself out of Roy Jones Jr. He can't even attempt to do things like that. Teo, the special of Teo didn't show up here. And it didn't show up here, the physical don't show up. And that's what it is. So, again, man, I hope they finalize that Boots versus Virgil Ortiz fight. I got Keith on top Thurman versus Fundora. We got a lot of fights to talk about. We want to see if Shakur Stevenson is going to fight Devin Haney. I believe that's going to be a great fight for Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney, right? I think it could be a good fight. The question is, which is a bigger fight, Shakur and Tank or Shakur and Devin Haney? I believe that Shakur, he could go up and weight. And if he beats Devin Haney to become a 5-division world champion, 3-division lineal champion, and by the age of 29. Boxing talk, con 20 pesos. It's a lot. He's been tapping into different energy, talking about different spirits. He got to be careful. Boxing talk, man. You paying attention, boxing talk. Boxing talk, you are paying attention. I love that, what you just said right now, because that's a whole nother level. That's a whole nother layer. But that right there, that what you just said right now is something I want to have a personal conversation before I make it a public conversation. That right there, because I know exactly what you're saying. It's a lot. Tapping into different energy, talking about different spirits. He got to be careful. Women he around, he could have opened a door to something in the spirit that he needs to be careful. Something off in the spirit. Hey, boxing talk. I'm glad you said that, because That is the conversation that needs to be had as well. That's a conversation. When I hear people talk about God, Jesus Christ, Lord and Savior, and then they talk about energy, no, there is no energy, and then there's God. It's just God. El Espíritu Santo. Thank you, my brother Boxing Talk. There is no such. Once you talk about energy, you believe in the world. You believe in energy. No. When you have God in your heart, it's nothing about energy. Eso el Espíritu Santo. Energy is for the atheists. El Espíritu is God-fearing. Let me know if I'm let me know if I'm wrong. I never say the energy while me believing in God. No. Now there's confusion. There's confusion. Once you hear people talk about, well, what the world and when the energy of the world, como if the earth and the stars is aligning itself, and no. I'm glad. You're paying attention, Boxing Talk. You're paying because ain't nobody tapped into that one. I think that Canelo won counter Crawford, but if I say the people would laugh at me. I think that Canelo won counter Crawford. I think it was a close fight. I don't think it was a whitewash like many people like to say. I think it was a close fight. But Crawford won that fight. He took the 11th and 12th round. He won that close fight. Had T.O.B. and Shakur, they wouldn't have put T.O. top 5. They wouldn't put T.O. top 5. I know that for sure. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow we back at it. Another day, another topic. Y'all already know it's Punch Wrong Boxing. Subscribe to the channel, smash the like button. Love you, God bless, and on to the next.